and welcome to another episode of Q Points Podcast. I am DJ Sir Daniel.
And my name is J. Ray, sometimes known by my government as Johnny Ray Cornegay III. What's happening, people?
Listen, it's about to go down. Another wonderful episode. We are talking about the most expensive videos ever made.
Ever.
Hands down, ever on this particular episode. And it's so appropriate, J. Ray. Well, first of all, before we get into that, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great. At the time of this taping, I just finished a conversation with our friends over at LGBT Detroit on their brother to brother lockdown. And it's always great to connect with those brothers. Love that they, we have the relationship. Counter Narrative Project has a great relationship with LGBT Detroit. So I'm feeling very good. How are you feeling, man?
I am sensational, on the verge of another holiday weekend, on the verge of another birthday, J. Ray.
It's that time.
It's about that time of year. I can't shake the feeling that something great is coming. We're finally out of Mercury retrograde and all that other good stuff that everybody's been talking about. Because it's been bananas around here in these streets. But around here, Q Points is your safe haven from all of that foolishness. We are going to talk you through into the weekend. It's Friday Eve at the time of this recording. And J. Ray, let the people know how they can maintain contact with us and keep that good feeling going after the recording of the show.
Absolutely. So first things first, thank you all for those who are joining live for this particular taping. If you can see us, if you can hear us, we appreciate you. That is the most important thing that you can do, and it don't cost you nothing. It's absolutely free. You can go ahead and do us a solid, and you can subscribe wherever you are, wherever you like to listen or watch your thing. Subscribe there. Also, share the show with your friends, family, colleagues. If you enjoy Q Points, chances are they will enjoy Q Points as well. And we would love to meet them folks that you love too. So if you want to do more, go on over to our website at qpoints.com and you can sign up for our newsletter. You can read our blog, which we call Q Points Mag, and you can even shop our store at store.qpoints.com and get you some fresh gear. Heading into the fall, we got hoodies up there. So get ready to get your hoodies out because it's about to get chilly.
Yes, it's gonna be real fall, not fake fall like what we have sometimes here in Georgia. It's not gonna be fake fall.
Can we talk about that? So y'all must have had it too. So up here last week, all of a sudden it was chilly. I had my hoodies out. Everybody had on a hoodie. All of a sudden people had on long jeans and you were like, that's fake fall. It's not.
It's absolutely fake fall. Yeah, every morning it had gotten down to about 70. I think the high might have been 80. It was really comfortable, very comfortable last week. You didn't the air conditioners, I'm sure, got some well-deserved time off from working so hard. But this week, them jokers are cranked right all the way back up. We are definitely in the 90s as far as the temperature is concerned. And you know what else is in the 90s? This show.
Yes.
2 Points Podcast. Dropping the needle on Black music history. So at the time of this recording, it is the birthday. Today would have been the 66th birthday of the king of pop, Michael Jackson. J. Ray, all the tributes were everywhere online. You know, what's your favorite Michael Jackson song, blah, blah, blah. But J. Ray, we're here to talk about videos. And if anybody can be the subject about state-of-the-art videos, game-changing videos, it's definitely Michael Jackson.
Yes.
And this list that we have here, he is mentioned not once, not twice, but 5 times, J. Ray.
Yeah. Michael Jackson is an absolute pioneer of music video as a format. So as we know, especially when we got into the Thriller years, Michael and his team were very intent on finding new ways to break through. And a little video called Billie Jean with Michael Jackson walking on those light up sidewalks, and a classic 80s video where there's like an invisible sheet and there's all types of stuff happening, but it is really the beginning of an era where all of a sudden music videos were not just this kind of extra thing that artists would do, but like a statement into themselves. So Michael Jackson, happy birthday, Michael. Michael is absolutely a pioneer in that space.
So I would like to take it back just a little bit, take it back to 1894, where it is listed that the very first music video, if we want to call that, was ever made. It was the sheet music for a song called The Little Lost Child. And that sheet music, because instead of records at this point, music wasn't recorded,
Right.
they would sell the sheet music so that you could play on your old piano at the house.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to promote the sheet music, they created a visual, as the kids like to say now. They created a little mini video. And what it was is that they used a primitive slideshow, using still photos during
Yeah.
a live performance of the actual song. So somebody was playing piano while behind this, somebody was working there. I guess their projector at the time,
Uh-huh.
and creating like a slideshow that went along with the sheet music called The Little Lost Child. And that is the very first recorded, well, documented music video ever.
Interesting.
You
That
know,
is fascinating.
you're
You
always going to
know,
get a nugget here on Cue Points.
yeah, like that. I never knew about that. So when I saw that on the agenda tonight, I was like, that is a factoid I did not know. But it also speaks to natural natural synergy of music being able to lend itself to like visuals. If y'all are about to learn a factoid about J Ray, I see almost everything like a film. It's
Mm.
just what it is. It is what it is. So even when I was a kid and I would listen to music, I would definitely see visuals. And so music videos definitely lended itself really well to that. You know what also came up for me, Sir Daniel? I remember when I first saw David Bowie's Space Oddity, but not the 1972 version. I don't know if folks realize this. There is a 1969 version of David Bowie's Space Oddity that legit is like one of the hottest music videos you will ever see. There's like obviously space and women because it's David Bowie,
Mhm.
and it's giving very Clockwork Orange. So I think it was ultimately was part of a film, but it was the performance of the song Space Oddity that is essentially a music video. So if folks go to YouTube, you could check out it's a 1969 video of David Bowie doing Space Oddity. And of course, David Bowie is also a pioneer of music video. Those David Bowie videos in the late 70s and the early 80s helped MTV get started.
See, perfect segue,
See how
J
I
Ray.
did that?
You set me up, and here I go for the alley oop. So, thank you for mentioning David Bowie and MTV in the same breath, because we all know that David Bowie famously took one of MTV's journalists to task, um, asking them point blank, "What's up with MTV and this lack of black performers,
Yes.
these lack of black music videos? You all don't play any music videos of black artists on the show. What's up with that?" And of course, that started a discourse that we're still having to this day. And it's so funny because MTV debuted August 1st of 1981. And in
Wow.
1983, it took 2 years, J Ray. 1983 was the very first time that they aired a music video featuring a black artist. Do you know which artist that is? Because it's not Michael Jackson.
Oh, it's not Michael Jackson? Who is it?
Mm-mm. J Ray, the artist that was featured, the very first black music group that was featured on MTV in 1983 was the UK import Musical Youth for their video
Sh-
Past the Dutchie.
You, oh, those young men deserve their flowers. Look at them, just groundbreaking on so many levels.
They sure do, but here's the funny thing though, J Ray. The reason why they chose Musical Youth was because they weren't too threatening. They didn't really appear black enough. They weren't that black according to the music execs over at
Musical Youth
MTV.
were really black.
They were black, but they were just young, and they were, the song was happy enough. Oh, look at these little darkies. I mean, these little black kids playing their guitars and their instruments, singing about a duchy. Oh, we like this. This is non-threatening. So yes, so that was the first music video by a black music group ever played on MTV 2 years after they had been in rotation and gotten their footing as a network.
Okay, so I very much I think I've talked about this on the show before. I very much remember those early 2 years of MTV. So I was a kid. I've talked about this. Like my dad was very into cable. On Check our Instagram later. I'm gonna find a picture of the cable box that we had. I'll never forget it. Anyway, I would literally watch MTV all summer, like during the summertime. It was literally the only thing I would watch. And what was hilarious about it is you literally only saw the same videos. So it was like a rotating crop of the same videos over and over again, because there just weren't that many of them, and most of them were from UK rock acts. That's how I got all of my, that's how I first discovered my love for rock and roll and my love for just kind of like UK, like new wave at the time, because they were the only music videos I could watch.
That makes a lot of sense. Let's see. First of all, you were fancy.
You,
Like I think I've mentioned before, we didn't get cable in Brooklyn for years. And then I didn't actually experience MTV until I moved down south. So I didn't get to experience any of the music cable channels until I moved down south. But speaking again of Michael Jackson, it took a son. I'm pretty certain you guys have heard this, but it took one of the Sony Music executives to threaten the programmers over at MTV. Like, look, we're gonna pull all of our Sony artists. We're gonna pull all our videos from your network unless you get this Billie Jean video in rotation on MTV. Because at that point, it just didn't make sense.
yep.
Michael Jackson is a huge artist with music videos, and MTV proclaims to be a video show, a video network, and they're not playing it. So yes, so they had to put their foot down.
So, and that of course comes from racism. That of course is the remnants of the disco sucks movement, where, they blew up all the black music and we do rock and roll and that's all we do over here. And the fact of the matter is, like, once Billie Jean got on the air, everything changed after that.
Nothing was ever the same after that. And but I mentioned going down south and getting introduced to the different music channels. That also included BET. Now, what I didn't realize is BET actually debuted back in 1980. So the BET,
But it was regional. I think it was in like the DC area.
the DC area. So they, while they didn't have the widespread outlets as much as MTV, BET was around, started first in 1980. So, and that was, of course, the home for a lot of course, black entertainment videos, of course. That was January 25th of 1980. And so here we are with music videos, video outlet shows becoming a huge part of marketing and to make music artists more visible. So I guess we understand why in the 80s it made sense to why videos became so popular, but not but are music videos still important to the industry, I guess?
Absolutely. As a car carrying member of the music video generation,
Hmm.
I believe that music videos in any form that you can make them are really important because it does a couple of things. It gives us an opportunity to immerse ourselves in the music that you are creating. So I'm speaking to new artists out there. It gives us an opportunity to see how you want us to visualize the music that you are putting into the world. So that does not mean you need Hype Williams budget to create a music video. I know so many music videos for indie artists right now that they are making on their iPhones. It's
Hmm.
incredibly creative and well done. It's all about the vision. So I absolutely think music videos are important to artists today.
Just this question just popped in my head.
Hmm.
Growing up, did you prefer videos that were full concept videos that had a storyline and costumes and actors and all that, or were you a fan of performance music videos where the band is just like it was a video taken from a performance somewhere, or like for one of my favorite examples is Salt and Pepper's Push It. It was
Hmm.
produced, but it was a performance video.
Yeah. Um, I didn't have a preference. I didn't have a preference growing up because I used to watch so many rock videos because like I said, initially you was watching MTV the whole time and that all you would see was rock
Hmm.
videos. When videos did start to be produced, they were either really cheesy and like in a studio environment where it was like a backdrop and it was just like a rock and roller dancing, or they were performance in some sort of way where it's just like the band on stage with like a bunch of people. So actually, some of my favorite and most memorable music videos, I feel like, have a performance aspect. I think of Tina Turner's Better Be Good to Me.
Hmm.
I think of George Michael's Monkey, which is one of my favorite videos to watch because he was on tour at the time. So you get like that whole energy. One of my favorite 90s videos that's a performance video? TLC's Digging on You
Digging on You, yeah.
it's a slightly different smoothed out version of that, so even smoother than the album version. And I love that they're on tour and they did that video and I got to see T-Boz play with the mic clip, which still I don't know why I remember her doing that. Anyway, that was so I didn't have a preference. What about you? Did you have a preference between the two?
um Not really. But here's what I did. I liked seeing performance videos because I liked choreography. I liked seeing um cameos of people. I liked seeing the crowd's reaction
Mm-hmm.
to the song, to a lyric, whatever. So yeah, I didn't really have a preference, but I think those were the you would either get a concept video or you would get a performance video. And so
Concept video.
concept, yes, a concept video. And speaking of which, so Jerry, you ready to talk about to let the people know what these most expensive videos are? Because
Let's
of
talk
course,
about
we
them.
only talking about the black ones. I mean,
We,
it's Q points. I mean, come on, guys.
we got to do a side. Maybe we'll do something where we do talk about the other ones because there are some other interesting ones in this list. But yeah, we talk about the black ones. So yeah, let's get
Sure.
into it.
Well, let's start at the top. Well, yeah, let's just start at the top because we already know who's
We
number
already know.
one.
We already know who's
And
number
if you
one.
saw the our flyer for the show, the PSA leading up to this particular episode,
Uh
we
huh.
featured it. It's Michael and Janet Jackson Scream at a
Yeah.
whopping $13 million.
And I think that's 13 million based on kind of just like today's number, but
Hmm.
still incredibly expensive. It was 7 million at the time, which is nuts. Nuts that they would spend. But here's the thing, Sir Daniel. Here's the thing. that video's gorgeous. Like that video looks like every bit of $7 million. Do you agree? Like, what are your thoughts on Scream?
Do I agree? I mean,
Yeah.
absolutely. Like we don't expect anything less than a pristine video from the king and queen of pop.
Hmm.
Literally the first family of, you know, pop music. And so that video, like you said, still holds up. It doesn't look dated.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't look I guess because it's been mastered so much, it doesn't look like it's lost any of its what's the word that filmmakers use? It doesn't look like it's lost any of its sheen to it. It hasn't degenerated at all when you see it on television. And it gives us what we need. We get acting, we get some people, we get levitating,
Right.
we and of course the most important part of being a Jackson, we're gonna get a boom cat breakdown.
And, and so, two interesting facts, right?
Hmm.
So, I think folks may or may not know this, but the director of the video did not, he was like, I don't do dance. I don't, that's not a thing that I do. And was like, but Michael and Janet was like, but we dance, so we have to dance in the
Yeah.
video. But as we see, there's only the one section where there's like a dance break. And I think that was a concession where it's just like, well, you can't do the video and it not be dancing in it because it's just who we are. So that's an interesting fact. The other fact that's for me personally interesting about Scream is that Scream is the first time I realized that music videos music videos can just be a concept, because here's the thing. Scream never went to number 1. Scream went to I think number 5 was its peak, and it was down from there. So this music video that is to this day still the most expensive music video ever made was made for a song that never even hit the top of the charts.
Scream just wasn't something that you heard on the dance floor or you heard on the radio. It wasn't popping like that. And but to your point, that's what makes the video aspect of the music industry so fantastic, and
Mm-hmm.
adds to the price tag of being in the music industry and promoting records. But before you go to the next music video, J Ray, I just want to say one other thing that makes this video not the most expensive, but I think the most precious and the most
Mm-hmm.
valuable is that it's Janet and Michael together,
Oh,
and seeing them together, playing together in this video, which is something I'm pretty certain the fans had wanted for a very long time because
yeah.
we knew how close they were, is something that you just can't put a price tag on. And them holding each other in defiance against the world at the very
Mm,
end is so powerful. It's such a powerful visual for
yeah.
Black music history, period.
Yeah. What's interesting? Yeah, and it's also, and we don't realize this as much at the time, but it's truly the passing of the baton. Janet is at the top of her game at that point. Janet Jackson has ascended, by that point had ascended to a level, and that's why this song was also really important to Michael. And they talk about that in the Janet documentary, because that was even really cute watching them write together.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently Michael wanted to cuss the girls out in the song, and Janet's like, well, okay,
We
you
can't
can't
do
do
that.
that. Right. You can't
Michael, we
say,
can't do that.
right. So even watching this brother and sister play off of each other, I think in that way is great. But in a lot of ways, Scream is like, hey, all right, sis, go and take this thing. And now Janet is, of course, still ripping stages to this day, long after. So Michael Jackson, man. So of course, Scream is the most expensive video ever made. Next up on the list of most expensive videos, the black ones, Michael Jackson's Black or White, directed by John Landis. John Landis also directed Michael Jackson's Thriller. And great horror movie director, by the way. But he did Black or White. So Black or White, adjusted for inflation, Black or White cost $8,947 and $8,947,960. In 1991, that was $4 million. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, kids. But once again, Black or White looks every bit of $4 million.
They were using that new technology because that's the video where the people were morphing into each other.
Yep. And famously, we know who's in that video. Tyra Banks.
Now, you know what's funny about that video now? The kids, I tell you, the thing about the social media generation is they will mine for content and use it for whatever joke they need to today. And so, of course, with this whole the election season here and Kamala, Vice President Kamala Harris discussing, or people, not even her, people discussing her blackness. We're using that clip of the video where the people were morphing into each other, talking about some Kamala Harris talking about her blackness. And, you know, dagnabbit, I had to laugh a little bit. I laughed a little bit at that because it was funny. But yes, but no, definitely groundbreaking. Lent to Michael's. Michael always had a message, though. Michael, that was his way of talking about racism. Nicely, even though I think he took it up a notch with "They Don't Really Care About Us." He was really mad on "They Don't Really Care About Us," but in Black and White, he was talking his shit.
But you remember the controversy? Remember, so after Black and White premiered, so Black and White is a Michael Jackson video, so you know it's like, bitch, it's a 30-minute
television event.
It's an event. So Michael turns into a panther.
Oh, yes.
Remember?
Yes.
And then Michael turns into a panther and he gets on the car and and Michael he's got bats and Michael is like beating and he's dancing on the car and he's grabbing his crotch. It's a lot.
I forgot about that part. Yeah, they really, people really had a meltdown. They were just scared because they weren't used to seeing their quiet, meek Michael act. But no, that's not an excuse. Michael does that during his shows. He's crotch grabbing and everything. Yeah. So I still to this day don't understand what the hubbub was about regarding that part of the video.
Listen, we had just come off Madonna. The people ain't know what to do. Remember a couple of years back, she kissed the Black Jesus. We just don't know, okay?
Our boomer parents just couldn't handle it. They just, they were not able. They were not able.
So the next Michael Jackson video that we want to talk about, now there is one, there's one in between. I'm going to just mention it. But You Rock My World is also in that $4 million range, which is also great song, not a huge hit.
A dud. Yeah. It was it was supposed to be like his comeback.
That was supposed to be his comeback. Michael looked really weird. Yeah, it was a lot happening. Great song, not a hit.
Yeah.
But the video that we wanted to talk about is one of our absolute favorites. And remember the time when we fell in love, from Dangerous, which is my second favorite Michael Jackson album. That video was directed by John Singleton. Amazing. $2 million adjusted for inflation. That is let me see, what does it say? 4.3, what do we got? 4.342 million dollars adjusted for inflation. I love that video so much.
Another major television event during prime time because it came on right after In Living Color. So we
Yep.
were all glued to the television on a Sunday night,
Yep.
and it was star studded.
Yeah. Everybody, every black star was in Remember the Time. If you weren't in it, you wasn't that famous.
You wasn't that hot. We had Iman. You had Eddie Murphy, of course.
Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson. Who else?
I'm sure there was
cast?
more people.
But I think the most important part, once again, the Jackson breakdown. Fatima Robinson.
They did that.
You peed for that choreography, but that breakdown, that do you remember? Do you? And I mean, she took street elements and brought it to the nation. Like everybody, I remember everybody in Atlanta was doing the Bart Simpson, that Club Excess and Sharing Secrets. It was a teen club dance. That's what I remember. Then all of a sudden, it's on nationwide television. Michael Jackson is doing the Bart Simpson on Remember the Time.
Yeah, everything about that video was classic. It had the whole Egypt thing. It had a mysticism. Michael kissed Iman, we think.
Which was kind of, they talked a lot about that kiss the next day on the radio. I remember
very
that.
Weird. But to that point, Sir Daniel, I missed one in the middle that was more expensive. Bad, which also was star-studded. Bad was directed by Martin Scorsese. They paid $2.2 million at the time. Video looks like it's worth every bit of its $2.2 million. Adjusted for inflation, $5.9 million. Now this is you ain't bad, you ain't nothing. You ain't. So I remember this was the second big music video. So Thriller was the first, Bad was the second. So one, Michael had disappeared. Like, we hadn't seen Michael Jackson for many years. Yep. Michael showed up with a completely different face on the subways of New York City in the 80s. That's a thing.
Wearing a trench and a hoodie. It was a good look. Wearing a trench and a hoodie.
Yeah.
Walking in the subways, and then boom. Gang ran up on him. Gang was like, "What up, blood? What up, cuz? What's that?" There's this theory going around because the gang element does appear a lot in Michael Jackson videos. Mm-hmm. There is this running theory that Michael Jackson was a Crip. Did you know about that?
Really? I didn't know about that.
There is this running theory that Michael Jackson is in fact a Crip from Gary, Indiana, from the set out in Gary. And of course, he lived in LA in Los Angeles for many years. So there is a slight possibility. There's a slight possibility because even in Beat It, well, he had both sets in Beat It. He had the Bloods and the Crips in Beat It. And I think the only way that he could have is the only person that could have orchestrated that was because of his ties.
My brain immediately goes to Michael Jackson as a gangbanger. I don't know what that looks like. I don't understand. But yeah.
It's one of those fame fables that's out there.
So Bad was a dope video. Every video, listen, Michael Jackson know how to spend his money. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna get your money's worth. If Michael Jackson is spending money on it, you're gonna get your money's worth. I will say Bad is not my favorite Michael Jackson album. Like, it's the one of the albums I play least. Well, no, Invincible is like least. But I don't play Bad that much. So it's interesting. But Bad had Wesley Snipes in it. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Wesley Snipes. Straight off of what was the movie with Goldie Hawn that I think
Wildcats.
Wildcats. He was off of Wildcats.
It's the Sputter Kings.
Yeah.
Better than diamond rings. Football. football.
Football.
If you know, you know.
What is
As a
that? Your
matter of
mama
fact, in
said
the
you
chat,
ugly.
UGLY,
Why?
you ain't
You
got
ain't
no
got no
alibi.
alibi. You ugly. What? You
Okay,
ugly.
for extra points, anybody in the chat that can drop who sang that song that I was singing just now, um, you get love from Q points. But if anybody can tell us who sang that song, you get extra Q points from us. But yeah, that Michael had a really good run as the king of music videos. But again, the dynasty, the family legacy that doesn't jump far. Yes, Marcus Richards is in the chat. It was in fact LL Cool J singing
Yes.
football. And was he featured in the movie? Or was it just the video? I think it was just
I
the
think it
video.
was just the video.
Yeah. But yes, Marcus, you're absolutely correct. Correct. LL Cool J singing football. But Janet Jackson.
Woo!
Doesn't really matter. And I forgot. I didn't put the
Oh,
money,
here
the price tag
I
next
got
to
it
it.
right here. It was
How
directed.
much?
Joseph Kahn directed it. They at the time spent 2.5 million, adjusted for inflation. That is 4.6 million today.
Wow.
Yeah, it looks
Janet,
like it.
well, it was all the things.
Yeah.
We got her in Tokyo,
Yep.
which is
It was a lot
expensive
of.
already.
It was a lot of matrixy kind of
Yeah.
moving cameras and
Mm-hmm.
zooms.
There was a lot of cords hooked onto them, so they
Yeah,
could.
because remember they danced because she had to like go down the pinball machine or whatever. I don't
There was
know.
lots of virtual. We
Yes.
saw AI, early signs of AI used in that video, virtual reality, all of the things. Of course, that music video was the catapult for the Nutty Professor
Yep.
movie soundtrack. And Janet, of course, starred in the Nutty Professor, and it was yeah, it's one of those videos where, of course, the one thing about that video for me is that Janet looks absolutely adorable. I think she
She
spent the
does.
whole time in that video just being adorable.
Well, that was during her pop princess era. You know what I'm saying? Because we were getting into the All For You. This is the pop princess era, Janet. So that video is definitely giving you that. Everything is a glow. Like Janet is
Yes.
gold in that
Yup.
video.
I think they were using ring lights for the first, because everything was a close up, because you could see in everybody's pupils, you could see the reflection of the ring light. So the ring light was definitely a thing. You know what? Our most valued listener, Mark, is always in the building. And Mark brings up a very good point. Mark says in the chat, Acura helped pay for that video through product placement. I think that's a very good point to make, that is when we started seeing a lot of artists getting a lot of music, a lot of product placement, and a lot of funding from outside corporations trying to push their products, because music videos, people, they finally got it. It's like, this is the easiest way to help sell our products.
Absolutely. This is a sidebar. This video ain't on this, but I figure I would mention it. One of my favorite product placements is in Eve's tambourine. That Chrysler 200 is prominent. And I'm like, I don't think Eve is driving that car, but sure. Chrysler was like, she is now.
Listen, all the way to the bank.
All the way. So what we got next, Sir Daniel? Oh, yeah. This is...
Well, we got Mimi. The Heartbreaker video. Well, Mimi's got two videos on this list. The first one listed is Heartbreaker. For inflation...
Well, it's the same as Janet. So for inflation, 4.572, 2.5 originally. So she paid. I'm sure that was a contractual thing. Janet got this, so I need you to spend this on Heartbreaker. I wouldn't have spent that much on Heartbreaker. It's not my favorite Mariah Carey song, but sure.
Now, Heartbreaker is the
remix kills. It's from it's from Rainbow.
Original. It's from Rainbow. Was the original? That's the one with Jay-Z on it, right?
The one with Jay-Z on it. Yep.
So this is where we saw Bianca.
Yes.
Okay. So So Mariah Carey is running around playing two people, one in a black wig and very tight mini skirt, playing her alter ego Bianca.
Does she fight
And
Bianca in this video? Is that a
they
thing?
have a fight in the bathroom. They sure do. They get into scrapping in the ladies' room. Yep.
They got us scrapping in the ladies' room.
But yeah,
We
but
digress.
you're right. I like the remix a lot better.
The
'Cause
remix goes Jermaine Dupri. It's got the
Brat.
brat on it.
Missy.
Missy.
Baby, I got the real thing.
Yes.
So,
Why
no
you
more singing
keep
from me.
sweating me? Yes, that's a jam. So next up, Mariah. You know what is Honey? Paul Hunter, which we have a name we've seen a lot. Paul Hunter directed that. They paid $2 million for it. 3.7. Of course, we know Honey, famously produced by Diddy and Team at the time. And the locks are on that joint. You know what I'm saying? They got a check from one of my favorite Mariah records, Butterfly. Butterfly is a hot, hot record.
And we see Mariah busting some choreo.
She like, right.
Y'all can't see it, but we're doing the little shoulder move that Mariah famously does in the Honey video. The video that marks her emancipation from Tommy Mottola.
Exactly. Yeah, because she like broke out and like jumped in a pool, and she was like, she got on like a bar, like one of them things, a jet ski to get away.
All while wearing stiletto pumps.
Of course. How could she not?
It's Mariah. But yes, you know what? Reminiscing about these videos were fun.
Yes. Yes.
They were fun. The music was fun.
Yeah.
It was a good time. We had to run to the television, turn on the station. We had to see these videos.
Yep.
We had to, absolutely had to.
This is They Reminisce Over You. I'm Miguel.
And I'm Christina.
They Reminisce Over You is a podcast that celebrates and honors the best in music, movies, and TV from the past.
We get into the careers and legacies of some of the biggest names in hip-hop, R&B, and pop culture. From discussing the groundbreaking music of Missy Elliott and Mary J. Blige,
to exploring iconic moments in TV and film like the chaos at the 95 Source Awards. They Reminisce Over You has something for everyone.
So join us as we reminisce over the artists, movies, and TV shows that have shaped our lives and continue to influence popular culture today.
All right, so wrapping up the Black people list of most expensive videos, Busta Rhymes featuring Janet Jackson.
The Janet Jackson.
A lot of Taurus energy in that video.
Yeah, they went crazy. Speaking of, Kyriako said this for the Doesn't Really Matter. They went real crazy on that green screen for this video. Like, this video is in a universe that does not exist. And directed by Hype Williams, of course. 1999, they spent 2.4 on it then, adjusted for inflation, is 4.4. Famously, Sir Daniel, I don't know if you've seen this, but Janet did kind of a recap of like her videos, and this was one of the videos she talked about. Maybe this was like 3 or 4 years ago. And she talked about the fact that this was in an era where they were putting like a diamond thing on her beauty mark. And she said, well, no, she was like, there's a point in the video where I lick out and people think I'm doing like a sexy, I'm a lick Busta thing. And she's like, no. The thing started to like move down, and I didn't want, this is a professional. I didn't want to mess up the take. So I licked my lips and I put it under my tongue.
Wow.
Time is money. Janet is like, no, I didn't want that to ruin the take. So I like did the lick thing, put it under my tongue. She was like, it worked, but no, it was very practical. The little the stud thing was moving.
Very sexually, a lot of sexual overtones in the video. At one point, Busta Rhymes turns into what looks like sperm.
Yeah.
Something that looks like swimming sperm. And yeah, the chemistry between Busta and Janet was hot. Mark brings up another
Good
point,
point.
is that the ring, later on we found out that all the rings that we saw on her outfit turned out to be, what's another word that I could use, because there's another word for
Is there another word
those
for them?
types of rings. For, is it? We'll call them C rings.
C rings. I like that. We are so YouTube right now. Yes, C rings.
If you have ever, it's something that if a gentleman is not wearing, chooses not to wear underwear, they can they can use this to corral themselves.
C rings.
And keep themselves in place. And yes, so that's what the C rings are for. So there, some come in different sizes. Some are mostly metal, iron, and there are some now that are made with elastic material. But for this video, Janet had them adorning her outfit. Yes,
adorning her outfit, and they were in her nails. This is a sidebar question. For those of you who C rings seem really uncomfortable to me, tell me about C rings. For those of y'all that are in the chat, do you use them? Is it a thing for you? Like, as a separate show? I'm just curious.
Just looking and seeing a few people in this chat, I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts that they know a lot about C rings in this chat. But anyway, we are going to move on. But yes, Busta Rhymes brings up the rear with the information, with the one of the most expensive videos, the Black people version, with What's It Gonna Be. And so you made a really good point, J. Ray, about especially quite a few of Michael's videos didn't necessarily translate into charting well. And we, in fact, there are a couple of duds. We're just calling them the duds. They spent a lot of money on these videos, but they did not reap the benefits from the music videos. And the first one on the list is The Good Dr. MC Hammer.
Yeah.
That Too Legit to Quit music video, for inflation purposes, what, 5.3?
5.3. They originally paid 2.5 for it. It was directed by Rupert Wainwright. I don't know who that is, but he looks like he would have directed that video. Now that I see the director's name, it looks like it was directed by a Rupert. This was the era where Hammer was a pop artist. He was square. He had leaned into that for better or for worse. This was not Please Hammer Don't Hurt Him. This was not all of that.
This was Adam's Family.
Was Adam's Family. I forgot about that song. So yeah, so this song was a dud. It was hey, too legit. Legit to quit.
We got this out of it. We got that out of it, you know.
We just did the Too Legit to Quit hand. Y'all, I realize that if you're listening, you don't know what just happened.
Yeah, sorry about that. But I don't know. And there was like a cast of thousands in that video. There were like thousands of dancers. It was just a lot. And I appreciated Hammer wanted to push the envelope with music videos. Because he was just that person. He was that dude. He was on the charts. He liked employing people from the neighborhood, all of those good things. But it just didn't translate to a hit. The song itself was not a hit. So that's that on that.
Yeah, let me see who produced Too Legit to Quit. Who produced this song? Hammer produced this. Hammer produced this. He did.
Yeah. He did everything in-house, basically. You know, for better or for worse, it's part of his history. He's still an unsung hero.
Oh yeah.
For all of his contributions. And I wish he was treated better by his peers and by us in general,
Yeah.
so that we could all enjoy him now, because now he's like, oh, y'all didn't appreciate me back then, so don't call me for 50th anniversary hip hop stuff. I don't want to be involved because y'all weren't nice to me. Basically, is what he said. Y'all weren't cool with me then. Ain't no need in trying to blow my, smoke up my behind right now. So yeah, it's just one of those unfortunate things to come out of hip hop.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. I mean, listen, everybody's got their own thing. I will say, Let's Get It Started as an album still goes off. Like, that album goes so hard to me. So if Hammer was like, I want to come out and I just want to do a show where I do all of them joints from that record. I mean, we got Turn This Mother Out, Let's Get It Started, Cold Ghost, MC Hammer, like all of them joints.
Listen, the original video for Let's Get It Started, where they're in somebody's club and everybody has on the troop jackets and the tight acid wash jeans, that video goes harder than Too Legit to Quit. Yeah, exactly. I like seeing that video. I would watch that video before I watch Too Legit to Quit. But on to the next dud. And this is, come to find out, this gentleman has been walking around the beach in Miami. People are still wanting to take pictures with him. But Puff Daddy, Victory, $4.84 million American. I didn't like this song.
I didn't like the song either. And apparently nobody did, because it peaked at number 19 on the Hot 100. It did go to number 2 on the hip hop charts. But sure.
I think what we saw here is we saw Sean really wanting to become the feeling himself. Yeah. Because at this point, everybody's telling, oh, you're beautiful, you're amazing, you're talented, gassing his head, which he is. He did a lot. He's definitely made a lot of contributions. He did. But I think he got to that point where he was feeling himself to be like, you know what? I can be up front. And this is where we got that album. Now, Puff Daddy and the Family, mwah. Yeah. But that solo album, the first joint where he was Public Enemy #1 with Hurricane G, and and this Victory song showed up with a posthumous appearance from the Notorious B.I.G.,
which was such a cash. Like, I'm like, sir,
yeah,
no.
And we're not even going, and let's not even mention that terrible song that he did with was it Robert Plant?
Oh yeah, I forgot about. I don't know what that shit is called, but yeah.
Diddy was making some choices. He was definitely making some choices to further his stardom, and that's why, and that's what happens, because that was not well planned. That was a waste of money.
Yeah, I wasn't into this song. The only joint from this record that I really cared about is that Benjamin's joint, which, I mean, for obvious reasons.
That was
Been Around the World was dope. That was, I think this is No Way Out. Is it that album? Hold on. What's that? That was the same album. This was the 5th single from that album. Can you believe it?
Which one?
The Victory song. So apparently, hold on.
So what album am I thinking of? Where he's in white. The cover is all white. That record's called Forever.
Okay.
What was on that? Besides the PE 2000.
The PE 2000, Satisfy You, I don't know what that song is. And Best Friend, I don't know what that song is either.
Okay. Oh, so the Victory was on. No, okay, got it.
But it was the last single. But that's what I think we first got the Puff. I think we first got the Diddy scream vocal, which is also classic. Y'all can't touch this. That became kind of legendary. Yeah, but one of the things that made all of these music videos happen was the importance of the directors, right? So many of these videos, the visions for these videos were the directors. Of course, the artists had their input. We talked about the fact that Scream, the director was like, I don't do dancey things, so there's not going to be a dancey thing in this. And then they were like, but Mark, we dance, so there has to be a dancey thing in there. So I think it's important that we wanted to just shout out and show love to some of our favorite directors that are known. Of course, one of them, we're just going to name them out. Hype Williams, of course.
Benny Boom.
Boom. The legend, Ralph McDaniel.
And y'all can't forget X. Remember X?
I forgot all about X. X
yes,
was
indeed.
directed. And then, listen, Billy Woodruff, you got to come over to Q Points. We feel like
Absolutely.
Billy Woodruff, listen, there are so many beautiful LaFace Records videos that have happened because of Billy Woodruff. Tony Braxton has been like, oh my God, immortalized.
Billy Woodruff made black women in his videos look immaculate. Like,
Yes.
and people don't give Billy Woodruff enough props. We have Honey. We have Billy Woodruff to thank for Honey. And I
Yeah.
said, I want Honey.
Right.
You know? So, but listen, so if we're going to talk about the video directors, there came upon a rising star in the early 2000s that gained a life of their own. They were called Video Vixens, J. Ray. Video Vixens, this generation is now finding out about Video Vixens because I'm seeing a lot of posts now about how Video Vixens would dance in the videos and whatnot.
Yeah.
But there came a time where Video Vixens were just as important as the song itself. And the rapper, if you didn't see Corinne Steffens, if you didn't see Gloria Velez, all of those girls.
Melissa Ford, I think, was in that list.
Ford, yes, Melissa Ford is iconic. They even created a magazine around those women. Remember King Magazine?
King Magazine, yep. Yeah.
So we gotta show love to the video vixens, the video performers, all of them who were silent, but we all knew their faces, and those girls were painted. They were wearing next to nothing, and sometimes they were painted in gold or in black and all kinds of stuff. I can only imagine. Remember those videos where they were wet the whole time?
The whole video. My God. Yeah. Those women. I think BET at some point did a whole Video Vixen thing. Definitely go check that out on YouTube. Yes. But Sir Daniel, as we wrap up this segment, we want y'all to come back because we do have a couple things that we want to talk about with y'all. But who is your favorite music video artist?
Okay. So I thought about this, and I'm sure that there's lots of people that could come before this person and after this person and whatnot. But she kept coming to my mind every time I thought about the question. And my favorite music video artist is Khalees.
Oh, she's fun.
From the very beginning.
Yeah.
Like when she hit us over the head with I hate you so much right now.
Yeah.
And just the vibrant colors, the hair, the Hype Williams, because she was a Hype Williams baby also. Like her videos, Hype Williams directed, they knew how to, the fashions were in play, and she was just really cool and beautiful to look at. And then, she always gave you a new look in every new video. I just want to get along with you video.
Oh my God, with the stop motion.
Yes, the Tim Burton kind of video. I don't know why people don't talk about that video enough.
It's a great video.
No other music video, especially with a black artist, had ever done anything that groundbreaking ever.
Yeah.
And then when she came with her milkshake, and then when she cut her hair, she made news just by cutting her hair.
Yep.
And dyeing it black. And when she was bossy, doing the pterodactyl dance by the pool. So yeah, she was just exciting.
Yes.
Khalees made me excited to see her music videos. And I think that's so important. And that's what, could really make or break makes her my video artist ever, my favorite music video artist. Who is yours?
Oh, I don't even want to. I've been thinking about this. This is off the beaten path.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of.
No, do it. That's what we do around here.
So my favorite music video artist is Ye. I just feel like Ye. I loved watching the evolution of his conversation that he was having through music videos over the years. They went from very elaborate to stark at different points, but I felt like he always had something interesting to say. So I wish Ye could have held it together. But I think Kendrick Lamar is coming up as being one of my new favorites. Mm-hmm. I always am fascinated with like Kendrick videos, even the videos that he does with other people. So Ye is the artist that I will pick as my favorite music video artist that we haven't talked about. So yeah, cool. That's who I'll pick.
Well, listeners, viewers, we want to put it in the chat. We want to see who is your favorite music video artist ever, because we just want to see what you guys have and want to know what your taste is.
Friends, thank you so much for hanging out with your boys here at Q Points. If you want to stay connected to us, you are doing the thing. You are hearing our voices. You are seeing our faces wherever you are. Hit a whole subscribe button so you can get all the information about Q Points. Follow us. We would love to hear from you. Send us inboxes. Let us know what you think about the show. We would love that. Share the show with your friends, family, colleagues. If you love the show, chances are they will love it too. Visit our website at qpoints.com. You can sign up for our newsletter. You can read our Q Points magazine. You can shop our store at store.qpoints.com. And most importantly, y'all, just be awesome. Enjoy yourselves this Labor Day weekend. Have fun wherever you're going to do. I'm actually going to be lighting up the smoker on Sunday. I'm going to be smoking some chicken.
Oh, okay. Please clear that up, because then
not that smoker. I don't do that smoking. I appreciate people that do. But no, I'm gonna be lighting up the smoker this weekend. So whatever you doing, do that. What you got? You got any? Well, you celebrate your birthday. So what you doing, Sir Daniel?
Probably I'm going to a play. I'm going at the Alliance Theater to see the new Katori Hall play at that.
Ooh,
so I get to see a preview of that. I'm going to hang out with my friends and do hood rat stuff on Saturday. And Sunday we're going to take it easy and probably go to a food hall and just, I'll allow people to buy me drinks, buy me lunch, adorn me with gifts and whatnot if you feel it in your heart to do so. Who am I to deny you to gift me on my birthday? No, but seriously, I'm just gonna getting up there. I'm not doing a whole lot. Like I said, the streets are for the kids, but everybody please be safe out there. But what do I always say, J. Ray, in this life, you have the opportunity. You can either pick up the needle or you can let the record play. I am DJ Sir Daniel.
My name is J. Ray, y'all.
And this is Q Points Podcast, dropping the needle on Black music history. I love to tour.